I started the recording. Yeah, I think it's. So we can start if you're ready.
All right.
Hold on. Seven.
Is it on?
Yeah. That's here. We should take 6.
Who, me?
And we'll push
And
that.
pass this one down? This, hello? Hello? Hello, hello? No. Is it on?
Yeah, no. Number 6. Number 6. One. Okay. Oh, he's gonna counting. Number 6. Yeah. That's why. Six.
Hello? Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
We're ready to begin. Today is Thursday, November 21st. Welcome to the full board meeting of Bronx Community Board 11. It is now 7:19 p.m. I apologize for the technical difficulties, but if there's nothing else, do we have the flag?
No, we don't. So we face north.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing. Moment of silence for our fallen first responders and military and medical service personnel, and for those suffering throughout the world. Thank you. Sergeant at Arms will now read the conduct statement.
Good evening. Conduct statement. Community Board 11 meetings must be held in a professional and hostile-free environment. The following rules of conduct are applicable to the members, to the public, Community Board 11, and Community Board 11 staff. Any action, behavior that disrupts or interferes with Community Board 11 business will not be tolerated during any Community Board 11 meeting and may result in the individual being asked to leave. If the action or behavior continues, this may be considered disturbing to the peace, and appropriate authorities must be summoned. If the meeting is held remotely, the person may be muted or expelled for the remainder. Repeated violations by the same person or groups of people may result in further action by the community board. All public speakers must address the full board or the community with their concerns. Electioneering for position other than officer of Community Board 11 is prohibited. Engaging in any acts of violence, including threats, are grounds for immediate suspension of the right to attend meetings pending review by the Ethics and Disciplinary Committee. Respect equality, diversity, and privacy of all persons by respecting and valuing differences of culture and opinion. Refrain from unpleasant and disparaging remarks and actions. Abstain from all forms of harassment by activity discouraging, disseminating false information is prohibited.
Thank you. Moving on to the gallery session, speakers receive an initial 2 minutes of uninterrupted speaking time. Only those registered 36 hours in advance will be called upon. Ms. Elizabeth Kane.
Hello. I'm here.
You may proceed.
Can you hear me? Thank you. Good evening,
Yes.
Chair Rodriguez. Good evening, Chair Rodriguez and members of the board. My name is Liz Kane, and I'm a medical and public health student living and working in the Bronx. Here I have witnessed the long-term impacts of poor nutrition on families. Thank you for the opportunity to speak in strong support of Intro 0641, sponsored by Councilmember Kevin Riley and co-sponsored by Councilmember Christy Marmorato, among others. Half of New York City's parents report purchasing kids' meals at least once or twice a week. On these occasions, kids tend to consume more calories, saturated fat, and sugar compared to meals prepared at home. This bill seeks to improve the nutrition quality of kids' meals by eliminating flavored milk as a default beverage, reducing juice serving size, and requiring restaurants to offer at least 2 healthy default options on kids' menus that align with national nutrition guidelines. These measures are grounded in research, which shows that individuals are more likely to stick with default menu choices rather than opting for alternatives. By making default options for kids healthier, this bill can help counter the decline in diet quality among children in the city. Surveys by the Center for Science and the Public Interest further reveal strong support for such nutrition standards among parents citywide. This bill is a significant step towards supporting families and promoting children's long-term health. I encourage you to engage with council members unfamiliar with this bill to secure their support and attend the City Council hearing related to the bill on December 2nd. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Ms. Kane? Thank you. Ms. Kane, can you just repeat what your request is of the community board?
The main ask is to simply increase community awareness and to support the bill at the City Council hearing on December 2nd, if you're able to.
Thank you. Moving on to our Community Planning Fellow, Madeline Brandfonbrenner.
Hi, Community Board 11. Does this work? Yep. Great. Let me go to my notes. So my name's Madeline. I'm a master's student of social work at Fordham at Lincoln Center. And I also work at New York Connects Brooklyn, which is the Department of Aging program. So my project for this fellowship will first to be conduct a community needs assessment with the goal of identifying the areas of need for resources, and then also finding resources that we already utilize in the community. So I am asking for people to participate in an advisory committee, which will keep me accountable to the needs of the community. They will also help with creating the questions on the assessment. And then after it is created, I will open it up to the community to participate. And yeah, it'll be required to attend advisory sessions and to provide feedback. If anyone wants to collaborate at a greater level, I would also really appreciate that. Does anyone have any questions? Oh, and then in the agenda on the website, there's my email and my phone number. So you can text me, leave me a voicemail, or email me if you're interested. And so this would be a committee that would provide advice on what they perceive as the needs of the community, and then the best ways to deliver the assessment.
So you may recall, I believe it was at the last meeting that I mentioned Madeline is going to be working with the community board on a specific project. This is our Madeline, and Madeline's going to be working with us for 2 semesters or 1 semester?
I'll be here for the rest of this semester and then up until June.
So I know that we have quite an involved community here. And so if there's anyone who would like to be part of this advisory committee, we really want to know what the needs are in the community, and Madeline's going to get that information from you. So please.
And I guess
Yep.
if you want to text me, I can share my number now, which is
Sure.
914-479-2407. Yeah, 914-479-2407.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments?
Thank you, Maddie.
Looking forward to working with you. Next up is Ms. Roxanne Delgado.
Evening. Page 14 of Community Board bylaws states, any proposed bylaw amendment are reviewed by the bylaws committee and approved by the full board. The bylaws committee has not met since November of 2023. No motion, this mention of the 36-hour registration requirement posted on the leadership agenda. Also, no mention of this 36-hour registration requirement was posted on the leadership agenda, nor was it available till after 2 p.m. after I notified the community board that it was not posted. There was no quorum on that leadership meeting, and actually 2 members were allowed to vote twice. And they voted to pass this 36-hour in-person registration requirement, which was not reviewed by the bylaws, nor was it voted on the full board. This is bypassing the bylaws committee, bypassing the community, bypassing the board, allowing less than 8 people to decide to impose this 36-hour in-person registration requirement. This is similar to what the budget committee has done. They actually submitted for FY26, the Community Board 11 needs and priority, which was not reviewed by the committee, nor was it provided to the public, nor was it voted or approved by the full board. So again, we're not following protocol, we're bypassing community input, notification, as well as community board members. This is also another issue where no minutes were provided for this meeting, nor is it available for February, March, April, or May. So we have no minutes. So not only does the committee does not know what is transpiring in this board, not even the members that were not attendants of the committees or the full board are aware of what's happening. This is a violation of bylaws, conflict of interest, because when you keep people out of in the dark, you're gaining a personal advantage, a violation of the city charter and open meeting law. And believe me, I'm notifying you all. This is called legal notification. Hopefully some of you will do the right thing. If you have any question, please ask now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Do we have any questions or comments? Sandy?
I know that in the bylaw.
Whoa.
It's on? We only have it stated.
Turn it on, just turn it on.
All right, I know that in the bylaws, I'm looking at it. Each person wishing to speak shall complete a registration slip, which shall be kept on file. And we do not have the time for it listed. However, for remote meetings, it's 36 hours. There is nothing for an in-person meeting.
And no gallery slips
So
were
how-
available today.
If we don't have it in the bylaws, nor have we discussed it in the bylaws. It should not be until it's discussed in the bylaws. And put in and have no one somehow inadvertently forget to put something in.
And in addition, Darren, I don't know if this was just an error, but only one person, one vote, even if you're representing 2 things. That's something, I was on the leadership committee and you can't vote twice. So if that's an error, I apologize, but that's what I've heard.
So just for clarification, we were voted, we had a couple people that do double duty as one position, hold on, as one position for a chair, another position. They were counted twice for quorum. They were not counted twice for a vote. It was only twice for quorum.
Okay,
So
thank
just so
you.
you
Okay,
understand,
good.
we
Thanks.
know the rules and it was not
Okay,
twice
let me
for a
know
vote.
you-
It was
let me know
twice for quorum.
Okay, thanks.
But if you look at the bylaws, it is allowed. It's just such practice is discouraged. It is allowed though.
Is there anything else? Thank you.
So however you enacted this bylaw, that should not happen, this bylaw amendment, by not providing gallery slips. So would this be undone?
Just for this meeting?
Maybe just for this meeting, but it would have to. Oh, here we go.
There you go.
It would have to be discussed in bylaws, and then it would have to go before the full board, and they would have to vote on it after we give our advice, like advice and consent.
Yeah, but this manager sent an email that this proposed amendment was passed And they, wait, but there's no gallery session provided. No gallery session was provided to the public.
Yeah, go on, go on.
I'm trying to tell you that you're in violation and I'm being shut down by my opponent because it's lack of respect. And this is why okay, you did not provide gallery session, and the email that the dispatcher sent after the leadership meeting said that the leadership enacted a 36-hour in-person registration that applies to all meetings. So for us to register online by 36 hours to attend, to speak at this meeting tonight. This is by email. So this was enacted, but in violation of bylaws.
It wasn't a bylaw amendment. Jeremy, would you-
But the amendment was, it did go through the bylaw for the in-person, for the 36-hour.
So,
Online.
everyone, so we're gonna address this by next month. Thank you, Roxanne.
Information. Thank you.
I appreciate
Have a
that.
good evening.
Sandy,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
for bringing
much.
this up. We're gonna discuss it and figure out by next meeting. Thank you. Next topic.
Manny? Martinez? Yeah.
Ready? 2 minutes?
Just 1 second.
1 second, man. Jeanette?
I would just like to state for the record that either we have a code of conduct and we enforce it or we don't. I would also like to state for the record that the same rules should apply and our meetings should not be just taken over. And if you're bringing something before the board that you want procedure followed and you do not want rules broken, then don't break the rules, follow them. I would really like to see our code of conduct enforced, and I would really like to see the same rules apply to everyone. Thank you.
Duly noted. Okay. Go on.
All right. Good evening, everyone. And so for those of you that don't know me, I see a lot of new faces. Manny Martinez, I'm the library manager of the Allerton Library. To introduce the new library manager of the Morris Park Library, Francina Freyes. With that being said, at Allerton, we are picking up our studio classes. So this is focused on music production, podcasting, and video editing. Next month, we're going to have 2 courses in podcasting. One is the very intro to podcasting. The other one is editing your podcast. The first one's going to be on December 13th at 10:30 a.m. The second part to that is going to be on December 23rd, 10:30 a.m. And then for music production, we're going to have the 2 classes, the intro to that, a little bit more in depth of beat production. And that's going to be on 12/18 at 10:30 a.m. and 12/16 at 10:30 a.m. If you want more information in regards to the studio, you can look it up at nypl.org/computers under the tab of studios. And you're going to look for AMS. AMS stands for Allerton Multimedia Studio. We also are offering our We Speak NYC classes, which is to help practice English. Those are being held every Thursday morning from 10 to 12. Okay, at Morris Park on Saturday, December 14th from 11 to 3 p.m. The Morris Park Library is going to be hosting a community health fair with other organizations as well. And I'll leave it at that.
Thank you.
Manny, what was your last name?
Freyes. Yeah, Frias.
Thank you.
Of course.
Do we have any questions for,
Can you just repeat the dates? December 13, you said?
Yeah, sure. Sorry about
For the
that.
first 2, it was December 13 and then,
So yeah, so this is for the podcasting.
yes, December 13.
and December 23rd.
Okay,
Those are the 2 classes, and those are for the podcasting.
thank you.
Okay.
any other questions? Susie?
I just want to congratulate and welcome to the Morris Park area and to our library.
Thank you. Thank you all.
And that closes the gallery session. Moving on to the chair's report, there are a number of bylaw proposals that have been presented. We'll start with Article AI. Every fiscal year, July 1 to June 30th, committee members shall vote each year to elect or re-elect the chair of their respective committees, excluding the leadership committee, during the committee's September or October meeting. In the absence of such a vote, the chair of the board must elect the chair of the committee by November 30th. Yes. Yes, I apologize. So the reason this has come up is because we have a couple of committees where we've been unable to reach a quorum, and hence those committees continue without a chair. So with this bylaw amendment, it would allow for the board chair to make an appointment for the chair of a committee in the absence of an election by the committee. Any discussion?
Roxanne, is it on? I just want to say that previous to this amendment, the chair usually made the appointments to the each committee. So it's not really a big change. It's just like a little tweaking.
I think it's a great idea.
So this has to appear in writing and presented to the board, the bylaws committee. We got to schedule something. They'll review it. We'll discuss it further because, yeah, there's other things Cynthia will announce.
Shall I move on to the next one? Okay. Article 4, Section 6, vacancies. The election procedure shall be the same as that set forth in Section 3 of this article, except that nominations, elections, and securing of one's name on the ballot may be performed at the same meeting. Okay, so this came up with the last election, particularly with the Sergeant at Arms. There was a question of having the name on the ballot, not the name on the ballot. There were some nominations that were held the same day as the election. And so this is supposed to help us clean up the language on that. Any discussion? Yes, Sandy, sorry.
Can I see your agenda? I'm going to bring it up. Okay, so so basically, the way elections work, I don't want to go too far into it, but it's every April, May, and June. Nominations April, May, June. A special election is the exception. And so here, the easy tweak is, so Article 4, Section 6 says the election procedure shall be the same, except nominations, elections may be held at the same meeting. The proposed change is that in addition to nominations, elections, securing of one's name on the ballot may be performed at the same meeting. So this is not set in stone. This is just a quick write-up. Ideally, this will be discussed further and meted out if this doesn't fly. But basically, to secure. Okay, I'm sorry. All right.
Thank you. So bullet point 3, 2022 approved amendment. Standing committees shall meet only when they have business to conduct or when the committee chairperson determines that there is a need to discuss items of importance to the community. So piggybacking off of last month's meeting when we were discussing attendance and meeting cancellations, there was a question posed by Rabbi whether or not there's anything in the bylaws which mandates monthly meetings. And so David Levitt, who was the chair of the bylaws committee, sent us an email clarifying that in May of 2022, the bylaws committee met and passed this particular language. It was voted on by the full board and it passed by the full board in June of 2022. However, it never made it into the bylaws. So for the last 2+ years, we've been operating with this unseen amendment. So I personally have my concerns only because, number one, I feel we should be meeting every month or at least trying. But also because I don't know what the legalities are with saying this amendment was passed, but it was never implemented because it never made it into the bylaws. So discussion.
Personally, I think it should be put in the bylaws as it is. It was discussed, it passed. If it was inadvertently left out for whatever reason, we still have it on record, on video and on paper. So it should go in with no changes.
Ken?
Anybody want to agree or disagree?
I agree with you, Andy.
Who was that?
Who is that?
Pat Cambria.
Oh,
Got it.
Matt. Thank you.
Yeah, I also, I think just the fact that we didn't print it doesn't mean that it's not there. I think we just put it into the bylaws now, and because they have already been amended.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay.
So it's going to go in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. So is it going in?
Yes, Pat.
Thank you.
Thanks. Oh, yes. That's all right. Oh, okay. So the next item is the holiday party. There are some dates that we have pending. December 18th, 17th, 11th, or 19th. I believe those are in order of preference. Am I right, Jeremy? Yeah.
So bad news is Bronx Zoo, which was everybody's favorite at leadership committee, cannot do this. So, so the only options for the 18th, 17th, or 11th we're looking at is Fratelli's or catering from Ann Claire's. Those are the two I know of that are city vendors. The idea, so Fratelli's, where we had quite a few parties, we got to reach out to them. We did reach out to Einstein. There was talk about maybe doing, so we're supposed to have a full board meeting on the 19th. So maybe we have the party at the end, or we maybe actually end early and then have the party. But if anybody wants to put in their 2 cents, we're going to ask that you get back to us with your preference or preferences. Harriet drafted an email. I just got to edit it and we're going to send it out ASAP. I'll probably do it before I go home tonight. So please let us know. Once I send the email, ideally you just respond via email, 18th, 17th, 11th, or 19th. 19th is the full board. It's Thursday, the 19th. Wednesday, the 18th is the first preference, and so forth.
Any questions? Moving on to the treasurer's report.
So there was, it was brought to our attention that one of the entries on the Friends of report was inaccurate. So we have adjusted that. It hasn't been published yet because while that was being done, it came to my attention that there was another inaccuracy regarding the pay for the staff, the salary for the staff. I finally got confirmation and the correct amount today. So that is, it's been sent to the staff and they will be publishing it with the correct amounts and with the correct memo for sorry, the Juneteenth event where we got returned the $300. I put it in as a donation incorrectly. It's now showing return of deposit. So that's been the correction. Once it's been published, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out to me and I'll answer any questions you have. Thank you.
Just, yeah, just
Okay, so unfortunately, there was a technical issue with the minutes. So they were going to be published today, or yesterday actually, but there was a problem with that. So we apologize for that. But we do have the attendance on page 5 at the very least with all committees. If we don't do the minutes, we're at least going to be doing, if you haven't noticed, each committee's same format as the full board. If there's a discrepancy there, please let us know. Ideally, you let me know, then I'll let the chair know. But ideally, you let the chair of the committee know, or the chair of the board in this case, which is Cynthia, if there's a discrepancy with any of your attendance.
all right.
Because they weren't sent. So, oh, it's my report. Oh, great. Do I have one? Yeah, I don't. Let's just see me after the meeting. If you want to complain about tech issues, be my guest. Well, we did have a meeting with Bally's. So I was there. Lisa was there. Pat Cambria was there. Debbie Kowalik, Ryan, Susan. Yes, not everybody was exactly happy with that meeting. I did get an email. They do want to come before one of the committees, so I got to follow up on that. So unless there's any questions, I mean, we talked about leadership, I think, well enough. I don't think there's any. Is there anything we really need to say right now about Bally's, or we can hold it off until a committee meeting? Oh, Wendy was there too. And oral.
Okay, moving on to committee reports. Leadership.
All right. The only thing we have on leadership is, the street co-naming application for former board member Joe Rita. Any discussion? We already talked about this at leadership. So anyone has anything else to say?
Hi.
So, do we vote on it?
Yeah, I just, because I know it came up at leadership and I think there was a questioning about his character or whatever. I want to say, I knew Joe Rita for a long, long time. And he was president of the 49th Precinct Community Council. And I don't think people gave that enough attention. If it hadn't really been for Joe and some of our other community members, we would not have the 49th Precinct. The 49, this community was split in two. Half of it belonged to the 4-3 and the other half belonged to the 4-7. And if anybody knows about the 4-7 and the 4-3, there's a lot of issues. And back then there were even more issues. Joe was instrumental in getting us the 4-9. So I just want to say, I want to make sure that you guys understand that. If it wasn't for him, we would not have the 49th precinct. We would not have a precinct in this community. And he led the community council for many, many years. He did a lot of good work for the precinct. He loved the cops there. They loved him just as much. He was on a lot of committees that had to do with the community as a whole, not just his where he lived. He represented the community as a whole. So I know a lot of you didn't know him because this was way before your time. But let me tell you, he was an honorable man. And I am so happy that hopefully this will pass. And I'm really proud. And I'm really glad that his family is here to support. So I just want to let you know he was a really good guy. He cared about this community as much as all of us. And, he sat on this community board for a long time. He was chair of the public safety. And there's not enough that I can say about this guy. So I just wanted to put that out there because I don't want anybody questioning his character because it was flawless. I mean, we're not perfect and he wasn't perfect either, but when it came to this community, he was the #1 fan. So I just wanted to put that out there. Thank you.
Yeah, you have a mic right there. Okay. You can go after her.
Hi, I just want to second what Hazel said. I knew Joe Rita my entire life, and his character, you cannot question his character.
And can I add something? I also,
1 second, Pat, 1 second.
okay.
Thank you both for your feedback. I did not know him, so I cannot, say anything in that regard. I did receive an email today that raises questions. And so out of respect for the family and out of respect for him and his memory, I think that our best bet is to revisit after. There are links in the email that was sent, and I personally have to do my due diligence. I can't ignore it. So I don't want to put something up for a vote that might be questionable. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone, but I will leave it up to the board. We can vote on it. If you want to move forward with a vote, fine. And if you want to wait and send it back to transportation to look at what I received. Jeanette?
I would prefer if, further investigation needs to happen, that it does, because I was at the leadership meeting. I don't believe that anyone questioned the person's character, so I'm not quite sure where that is coming from. I don't know. I was at the leadership meeting and I don't believe that came up. I did not know the gentleman. I Googled to find out who he was. I think that if more information needs to be discussed or disseminated, I don't think we're ready for a vote. Thank you.
He has a.
Juan.
So I think that this issue has been on our agenda for
Oh, yeah, I'm talking, yeah, go ahead.
about 3 times already. Everyone that has spoken about Mr. Rita has spoken positively about him. Rabbi Fuchs sat at the leadership meeting yesterday, said that Mr. Rita sat next to him for 25 years on this board. Now the family's here to support this issue. They have done the work. They went around their neighborhood and their neighbors signed a petition indicating that they were in favor of naming the street. I don't think we should keep delaying this any further. If we, at this point, after this issue has been on the agenda for 3 times already, do not have enough information, that's our fault. What we should vote on is the information that we have, and all of the information that we have that has been made available to all of us is positive. And it's their street, and they want it named after him. What's the problem? Let's just vote one way or another. Let's vote. Let's give these people closure. Let's not keep stringing them along and move on with this issue.
I'm going to end discussion. Are we prepared to vote? Okay. I know what I'm doing. All right. Motion to vote for the co-naming of Joe Rita. Hold on.
Susie.
We're going to do roll call? I'm running the mic right now, so give me a second, okay? Anyone abstaining? Susie just seconded. Anyone abstaining?
Abstaining.
Okay. Hold on.
Right, me too.
Okay, so now we have to do a roll call. You have to,
Tell me who they are.
okay. No, it's fine. Okay. Okay. Stacy.
Sorry. Dewan, Stacy, Dier, Ryan, Jeanette, Wendy, Susie, Harry, Cynthia, Jackie.
These are extensions?
Abstentions.
Kadara?
Kadara?
Yes.
Kadara.
Also online, Damaj, I'm abstaining as well.
Damaj.
Juanita as well,
And Juanita.
please. Thank you.
Again?
Yeah. Okay, Oral is abstaining.
One more time, please. Hands up, abstentions. Kadara, Dewan, Stacy, Dier, Ryan, Jeanette, Wendy, Susie, Harry, Cynthia, Damaj, Oral, and Juanita. And Jackie.
We need a count. That's why I want to do roll call. She couldn't get it. We're going too fast. I told you 3 times I want roll call.
All right. Should we start online with the roll call? Oral? Oh, wait, hold on.
Yes.
Okay. So Cynthia Rodriguez abstained, right? Rich Reynoso? In favor. Veronica Castro? Hazel, in favor? Harry abstain? Edgar? Edgar Aguirre?
I don't know, Joe,
Gary?
read it out.
No, I cannot hear anything. Well, I mean, if it's clear on the recording, he's thumbs up, so he's in favor. Kadian? No. Ryan, abstain. Francis not here. Patricia, in favor, I assume?
I am in favor
Okay.
of naming the street after him.
Okay, Stacey Ann abstain. Dr. Diallo, in favor? Alex, in favor? April's not here. Rabbi's not here. Ken, in favor? Wendy, abstain. D1,
Joe, read it out.
abstain.
Joe, read it.
Debbie, in favor? David, not here. Kadira, abstain. Juan, in favor? Jackie, abstain. Damaj, abstain. Susan, abstain. Shrado, in favor? No, Damaj. You
Abstain.
need to abstain? Or you want me to wait still? Ellie in favor? Joanne Rubino in favor? Oral abstain? Lisa Snow. Dear abstain? Sandra Unger in favor? Lisa Villala in favor? Lisa Villala. Dwayne Williams, where's in favor? Jeanette Wilson abstain? So that's 16 in favor. So the motion carries, right?
I think that's it for leadership.
Congratulations. Moving on to economic development. Juan? Can you turn on Juan's mic, economic development?
It works. All right, so we made 2 motions and
Order.
go. All right, so we had 2 motions on committee. One of them was for a renewal license for Maestros, which is a well-known institution in the community. We voted in favor of Maestro's license. In favor of issuing a letter of no objection for Maestro's license, and we are hoping that the committee will vote in favor as well. And then there was a second motion. Should we do one at a time? All right, so our first motion is for the approval of the renewal of the license for Maestro's. Liquor license for Maestro. In other words, for us to issue a letter of no objection. Any discussion? Any abstentions? Any objections? All right, motion carries. The second motion by committee was for is categorized as a new license, a new liquor license for Patricia's, which again is another restaurant that has been in Morris Park for a long time. They want to have a license that would permit them to operate for 24 hours during New Year's Eve. Our motion would be to send a letter of no objection for the liquor license for Patricia. Any second? Well, it doesn't have to be second because it was past the committee. Any abstentions? Any objections? All right, motion carries. Thank you so much, everyone.
Moving on to bylaws, Sandy? Sandy? You need a mic.
Oh, one technical issues because no one was there to do any of the tech work, but also we did not have quorums. And people do not notify me, especially on the health committee, if they're going to be there or not. And bylaws, both. I'm doing both at the same time. Same time.
So just a reminder to everyone, please try to reach out to your committee chairs if you're going to either be remote or not be able to come to a meeting. Once again, thank you. And Veronica's volunteering to help with tech in the future. Thanks. Community development and budget priorities.
We did not have a meeting. Got it? Okay. We did not have a meeting this month. Our meeting is scheduled for Monday. And to address the concerns about submitting the community statement and priorities, I am still relatively new to this board. This is only my second year. And last year it was not voted on. I went back and looked. It has been a couple years since it was voted on, and there were a couple years it was not. So we will go over it on Monday, but the deadline passed in October, so there's not any way to really change it. And to try and prevent this from happening in the future, what I'm going to do is send out the statements that are relevant to each committee in the spring, so that even if my appointment is not renewed, whoever steps in the next time will have something from that committee that they can input in October. And also set out in writing, which I've done in email so far, a process for doing this and making sure that it's done correctly in the future. When we lose experienced people and most of a committee, it's hard to keep that momentum going. So see you Monday if you want to hear about it.
Thank you, Ryan. Are there any questions for Ryan? Okay, moving on to education, culture, and youth services. Susie.
We had a meeting. I had the vice president of special education for the United Federation of Teachers do a presentation on special education, the IEP process. And we spoke about, we don't have a chair because I am the co-chair, and I stated I can't be the chair, sorry. So we said we were going to vote if anyone wanted to step up, or we can do a vote next month. But if I'm not mistaken, before Mary left her last meeting, Rich, you were there. If I was not, am I mistaken? Were you there? No. If I'm not mistaken, we may have to go back, but I think Mary made a motion for us not to have a meeting in December.
Oh, for ethics.
Was it ethics or?
Yeah, it was ethics.
Okay.
Yeah, I was at that meeting.
All right. So we're having a December meeting to vote on a new chair. So please show up. Thank you.
Thank you, Susie. Moving on to ethics and disciplinary.
So I am the co-chair of ethics. I'm filling in for Naomi. We did have a meeting. We do not have a problem with quorum, which is a blessing. We are not having a December meeting. We began case 116 and it was tabled because we needed further clarification from the borough president, and also one of the respondents was not present and their voice could not be heard. So that is going to be tabled until January. And case 117 is also going to be on the agenda for January. Okay. Before I relinquish the mic, I'm simply going to say, as an ethics committee, I would perhaps suggest that at some point we do a ethics presentation for the entire board. Thank you.
Thank you. Sandy, basically you said nothing. Do you want to?
As I said, we couldn't do anything, so we had no quorum, no technical support. So we'll try again. The same speaker will come, but she will have to be taken right away. But it'll be good. She's going to talk about the echo-free clinic.
Thank you.
For housing, we discussed AMI and the City Phelps program. Actually, today the City Council is voting on City of Yes. For housing, I'm not sure how it went. I think it left Land Use Committee for the City Council. I think by the time we get home, we'll figure out if it passed there or not. But we talked about AMI and how that affects our community. Look at the tape. It was a good conversation. Folks don't understand what AMI is or how it's calculated. It really does affect how the rents in our neighborhood are calculated, right? It doesn't make sense is our opinion. But yeah, that was housing.
Land use?
Did I meet?
I don't think you meant, no.
I know. So land use didn't have a meeting
Yeah, I don't
this
mean-
month. And most likely we won't have one in December. But Rich and Juanita, I know we were going to do a collaboration regarding the Eastchester project. Just let me know where we stand with that.
Will do.
Juanita?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Thank you.
Parks?
Parks did not have a meeting. Happy Thanksgiving.
Public safety?
Good evening. For the third straight month, we did not have a quorum. This committee is in need of a chair and co-chair. And I just want to let everyone know that this will be my last meeting. So I would like for the next meeting of this committee, if you're on it, to please notify Jeremy or our board chair whether you're attending. I think the courtesy needs to be extended, because I go to the meeting and no one else shows up, but maybe one other person. If you let me know, or let our chair, or Jeremy, know for the next meeting, no one will waste their time going to the meeting only to have to leave. I'd rather be disappointed and stay home than get upset by attending and then have to leave. Thank you.
Hi, Ellie, I just want to say it's been a pleasure having you on this board,
and you will be missed. And I wish you all the luck in the world with your new appointment.
So again, congratulations, Ellie. It's wonderful. But for the Public Safety Committee, that is one opportunity for the 4-9 precinct to come in and give the stats. We're not going to invite the 4-9 precinct to a committee that is not going to have a quorum, which means that the community and the board misses out on the criminal stats and all the other information. If you're interested in being on public safety, you can let the board chair know. She can look into it and put you on it if you're interested in being it. But if you are on the committee, you need to make those appointments so we can start inviting the 4-9 precinct back to give us this important information that they have. Thank you.
I'm going to echo Veronica and Hazel's many congratulatory comments on your judgeship. Wishing you all the best. Our brief time working together has been awesome. We've shared quite a few differences of opinions, but always respectfully, and thank you for that. I do want to say once again, and this kind of goes back to this bylaw amendment about meeting only when there's community business to conduct. That is one of my reservations, is that it's bad enough that we have committees that are either not making quorum or not meeting at all because they don't have an agenda. I have difficulty wrapping my head around the idea of not having something to discuss. And, you know, I've spoken to multiple committee chairs who are just completely over it, in the sense of making the time to come to the office, to get online, to make sure that the tech is there, and then no one is showing up. And I'm going to once again float the idea of combining committees, perhaps a municipal services committee. That's a conversation for the bylaws committee, which, you know, we'll see what happens. But that's all I have to say about that. Hold on.
I'm going to echo what I said last month. I think committee chairs should look at their absentee list. And if they're not showing up to meetings, ask them to step down from the committee. That's how you make your quorum. If folks who don't show up aren't on the committee, you're going to meet quorum. That's my suggestion. It's a bit rough, but if folks are not showing up, just ask them to leave. All right. It makes everyone's life easier, because this is now what? We're in November now. We're going to hit December. We only have 3 more meetings after that. And then we're asking ourselves the same question next September. So time is of the essence. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Correct. Like Veronica said, look at the bylaws in terms of the attendance and what that means for those who haven't shown up.
Thank you. Sanitation.
Nothing really to report. Just remember to compost, and also buy your bins. Remember to compost.
Thank you. Transportation.
Transportation didn't meet. And the rabbi really didn't bring anything up, except we did discuss the street naming. Debbie, do you have anything?
I just want to mention with sanitation, you don't only have to buy your bin through the NYC website. Home Depot is now a carrier of the NYC bin.
Thanks for letting us know. Moving on to our elected officials. Do we have anyone here from the Bronx Borough President's office?
Hi, how are you? Good evening.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be here with you virtually. I have a quick report for you. We emailed a list of the borough president's capital budget allocations for projects in your community board for fiscal year 23 through fiscal year 25. So over the last 3 fiscal years, the borough president was able to allocate capital funding throughout the Bronx for housing, education, parks, hospitals, and many other important capital projects. This information should have been shared with the community board members by the DM and the chair. If you haven't received it, please let me know. Also, community board application process will be opening up soon. So if you know anyone who is interested, please ask them to apply. You can find that link to the application on the borough president's website, and you can also obtain that information from the board directly. We have 2 upcoming events, both in December, the tree lighting on December 5th at Lou Gehrig Plaza from 5:30 to 9 p.m. and a toy giveaway on December 14th at the Dancing Crane Pavilion. The address is 2300 Southern Boulevard from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And I just want to end by saying congratulations to Eli. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have someone here from Councilmember Feliz's office? Councilmember Marmorato's office? Councilmember
Yes,
Riley's
hello,
office?
can you hear me?
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yes, sorry. My name is Nancy from Councilwoman Marmorato's office. So I just want to say hello to everyone and just let you know about some cleanups that we had done recently. Esplanade, our office worked very hard to get that cleaned up. We had some graffiti removal by the train tracks on Van Ness and Morris Park, and we got some trucks removed along Pelham Parkway. This weekend, we are slated to distribute over 500 turkeys and shelf-stable items to our civic associations, as well as to our NYCHA houses, senior centers, churches, and local constituents. December, we have some events in the works, but nothing set in stone, but we will let you know shortly. And I just want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, likewise. Councilmember Riley's office? Is his mic working?
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Kevon Bolt from Councilmember Riley's office. In terms of the upcoming events, we have our Marcus Garvey Street renaming tomorrow taking place at White Plains Road and Gun Hill Road. That's right underneath the train station. We'll be giving out produce, shelf-safe items, and turkeys as well. We also have a turkey giveaway in Section 5 of Co-op City taking place Monday at 1. The address for that is 135 Einstein Loop. That will be a first come, first serve giveaway. We have another one that same day starting at 5 taking place at the Baychester Library. The address for that is Ash Loop and Adler Place. And that's also first come, first serve. That's it in terms of upcoming events and announcement that we have. Thank you guys and enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone here from the mayor's office? Anyone from the controller's office? Bronx District Attorney's office?
Good evening, everyone. Nina Norwood, Community Engagement Coordinator for the Bronx District Attorney's Office. So I do have one new announcement. That's the Bronx District Attorney's Office Court Tours. So this tour aims to provide participants with a basic understanding of the criminal justice system. The Bronx District Attorney's Office Court Tour has 3 essential parts. That's the detective squad, the complaint room, and arraignments. To arrange a court tour, please email the CEU unit at bronxda.nyc.gov. So that's CEU@bronxda.nyc.gov with 3 potential dates and times for your availability. Tours take place from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's a minimum of 3 people with a maximum of 15. So I have two older announcements that I did mention when I was here last month, but I did want to reiterate them. So in recognition of Trans Awareness Week, that was November the 13th through the 19th, we're still accepting canned and non-perishable foods. That's at the Bronx DA's building at 198 East 161st Street in the lobby. So we will be accepting these until tomorrow, Friday, November the 22nd. That's the last day we'll be accepting donations. So also for the 36th annual New York Cares coat drive, we're still accepting donations for that as well. Same location at the DA building on East 161st Street in the lobby. Please just gently use a brand new coat, no rips, no tears, no dirty coats. And definitely we're collecting these for those in need. So unless there's any questions for me on the behalf of the Bronx DA and myself, we wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Do we have anyone from Representative Ocasio-Cortez's office? Anyone from Representative Torres's office? Senator Bailey's office?
Hello and good evening. My name is Rachel Ali. I'm the Director of Communications for Senator Bailey. As far as legislative updates, we actually had 3 bills signed into law, 2 this past month and 1 that will be signed tomorrow. The 2 that have already been signed was one for red light cameras to ensure driver and pedestrian safety all around the city. The second one was providing annual adjustment reimbursements for certain veterans funeral, and that was signed on Veterans Day. And the one tomorrow that will be signed is funding anti-violence education through schools throughout the city. So 3 really big bills are really important. In terms of future events, as we all know, next week is Thanksgiving. So our office, as well as many other elected officials in our district and neighboring districts, have been working really hard to get turkey giveaways to people who need it next week, and we have many. I have 3 flyers with me today. One will be in Co-op City. There's gonna be 2. Whoopsie, I'll pick that up later. The first one will be in Co-op City. There's actually be 2 times. I think the first one will be around 1 p.m. And the second time that you can pick up turkeys will be around 5 p.m. That'll be in Co-op. The second one will be at the Northeast Bronx YMCA, and that'll be on Tuesday. And there's also many, many other ways that you can pick up a turkey, or if anyone in need needs a turkey, definitely pass these flyers along. I also do a digital newsletter on behalf of Senator Bailey every single Wednesday. So this is an email blast, goes straight to your inbox. Not only does it include every single event that we have that we'll be following in the future, but every Wednesday I also provide resources. So if you're interested in being part of this newsletter, just please come out to me. I can give you my card, or I can write down your email so you can be included those email blasts, because not only do they include these events I have here, but all future events that may be of use too. So thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone from Senator Fernandez's office?
Hi, I'm joining from Senator Fernandez's office. I just wanted to introduce to the team. Hi, everyone. I love new faces, which is really, for those who don't, I worked with council member several years. I went and very excited to re-engage with the community. I look forward to working with you all and helping in any way that I can. So that's just really briefly about me. As far as updates go, prepare for the next legislation, including our policy, and if you have any budget or funding, out to our office in the chat if there's anything you wish to send to me directly. As far as our events, we're in full just holiday mode, and then we also that we're planning in February. That actually include one with Monroe University. They're trying to increase the number of adults that are enrolling in the university, and they are doing that through the building program, which it not only provides funds for students, but it actually identify scholarships and other and entire undergraduate or We also have the New York State Senate undergrad session assistant program. Those applications. Anybody know who knows any undergraduate students that are interested in applying? And then to kind of just wrap up, we did about so far maybe 4 to, and we've given away almost 1,000 turkeys. I think that's all for today. It's great to be back, and I look forward to working with you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone from Senator Rivera's office? Assemblymember Alvarez's office? Assemblymember Benedetto's office? Assemblymember Heasty's office? Assemblymember Reyes' office? Assemblymember Zaccaro's office?
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here and join you guys tonight in this meeting. I have a quick update for you in terms of events that are happening in our office this week and next week. Tomorrow, I want to announce that tomorrow at 4 p.m., our office is going to have our big giveaway, turkey giveaway. It's going to happen at 4 p.m. again in front of our office. There's no registration that's required. It's first come, first serve. We also had our first giveaway already on Wednesday in Morris Park and White Plains Road. That was very successful. A lot of people showed up to that, and we hope for another successful one tomorrow. For anybody who's in need of a turkey, please do send them over to our office tomorrow. We are also holding a holiday toy drive. This will be our second annual doing so. If you have any new toys they would like to donate, please feel free to come to our office and donate them. We have already collected a lot of toys in our office and look forward to the event. On December 5th, our office will also be hosting DOB. This is a time to meet with a member of the DOB and discuss issues like violation permits and much more. If you are planning to do some work with your houses, this is the perfect time to come set an appointment with them and then plan through it. We are also, again, this year holding a children's winter coat giveaway. We did one last year for children and adults. This time we're focusing on children as we saw a bigger need. So far, we have over 400 new coats that we have collected. If you guys have any donations to make, feel free to come by our office and donate new coats. We're only doing new coats. Our event so far for the coat giveaway is scheduled to happen December 2nd at Bronx House. However, more details are to come. And we will have a lot more events coming in December. Just stay tuned with our social media. If you don't receive our newsletters, feel free to sign up online with our newsletters or call our office, and we'll be more than happy to add you onto that list. And that is all that I have for updates. Happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving to all of you, and I look forward to the next meeting.
Thank you. Moving on to old business, we'll start with Peace December. So I know that there were some concerns about a post, an article post that mentioned the community board hosting the Peace December event. I believe that has been rectified online. So the language is clearer now. We are participating in the event, not hosting. And if there's anyone here who's planning on attending, can you just let me know so I can have an idea in terms of a head count? I'd appreciate it. So far, Stacy and Harry? Okay. All right. Thank you. Any questions, comments? Okay. And grassroots event, which Naomi's not here, right? Okay. So just a reminder, the grassroots event is scheduled for December 14th. A few of us did it a couple of months ago. It was really great. So if anyone is interested, just please let Naomi know so that she can make sure that you're signed up. Any questions? Ken? Check it now. Check it now.
No, now it's on. I just wanted to clarify, what is the Peace December? I'm unaware of it. I'd like to know what it is.
So Peace December is an event that was started by Sheikh Musa Drame. It's been going on apparently for 10 years. In the past, the mayor's office has been involved. So for this year, the idea is to bring it to Loretto Park, to our community board. The idea is to welcome in the month of December, which is the holidays for different religions, different faiths, and just to welcome the month with peace, leaving behind darkness and division and, conflict, and trying to have a peaceful December. It'll be at Loretto Park on the 30th from 4 to I think the flyer says 4 to 8, but it'll probably be closer to 4 to 6. Anything else? Do we have a motion to, hold on.
Hold on. Oh. Avenue business.
One thing I want to bring up on old business, people online are supposed to have their cameras, and this whole meeting has went by and they have not had their cameras on. They should be marked absent. It's been said numerous times. They should be marked absent because they do not have their cameras on.
That might actually then make us revisit the last vote that we took.
They turn their camera on to
One
vote.
second, Debbie, please don't, 1 second. We heard your objection.
We got it. I have some internet connection issues, just to FYI. I don't know if you can see me, but I do have some internet connection issues over here. So my camera was on most of the time.
I'm sorry, Juan?
And I don't know why. I don't know why this is a big problem.
His camera was on most of the time I saw him. I saw him in the beginning of the meeting. I saw him throughout the meeting.
I can log off and log back
I saw
in.
Ed's camera on throughout the meeting, so.
Can we, it's the end of the meeting, right? So Debbie, maybe in next month, we tell everybody if you're on, be on all day. Maybe the new folks haven't heard it, but you're right. You're right.
It's said all the time.
Can I suggest that when the Sergeant at Arms reads the Code of Conduct, he also remembers that the online board members must have their camera on at all times?
So versus suggesting, talking about it, why don't we just review the tape, find out who hasn't had the cam? Do you mind reviewing? Somebody, okay, Harry will do it.
All right, we're moving on to new business. I have a couple things. So for leadership next month, I'm going to bring up Wendy's idea, which is moving the electeds to the front of the meeting and giving a slot of 5 to 10 minutes in the front. I think it's a great idea. That way they don't have to stay towards the end and they could just kind of battle amongst themselves for 5 minutes, because it's going to be a total of 5 minutes for all the electeds. That's an idea. I'm going to bring up combining committees. We're going to talk about it, and we may motion to vote. So please be at next leadership. And for bylaws, Sandy, since Ellie's leaving, it's just you, Joanne, and Ken. So I think next month you're going to have a meeting. So so please join her meeting. And that's all I got for new business.
Yeah, the new calendar was decided on Tuesday. This is the toughest. This is one reason why it's a little chaotic for me tonight, because Tuesday, even last night, I was in the office from 9 a.m. Well, basically, I was till 7:30. So I know next month, I think the leadership is Monday and then Thursday. So there's a little bit room. But I'll tell you this, we already have one member that can be brought for removal. So that's probably gonna be on the executive board. I obviously have to talk to Cynthia about that. So remember, if you miss 3 meetings in a row unexcused, you can be brought for removal.
And just one final note, Angel Diaz, I'm sure you all saw the email from him, but he resigned from the board and he'll be really, really missed. He was a wonderful member of the board. Do we have a motion to adjourn by Veronica, seconded by Wendy? All right, all in favor? Meeting ended at 8:38 p.m. Thank you all.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Oh,
everybody.
bye, Ellie.
Ellie, we're gonna miss you.
Ellie. Bye.
There you go. Bow.
Thank you.